Hello, and welcome back to the experiment. This week's video is Untitled. It was written on the 31st of the 3rd, 2023 at 5:15 p.m. Today, I feel endlessly sentimental, but my words are not coming easily. I can only think one sentence at a time, and there is no promise that the next one will relate. Maybe it's that I missed last week's upload. I do plan to upload again on Sunday to make up for it, but also, I won't be too hard on myself if I don't. It does suck, though, failing to keep up with the experiment. I guess uni really is just a bit difficult. I'm endlessly sentimental today. Frankly, a lot of these sentiments relate to painful memories and deep sadnesses. It's one of those days where you want to message everyone you care about and tell them how much they mean to you. And maybe you would do this if you knew what to say. It's also a day where you feel so distant from everything. I think this is only really because I've not seen anyone today. The result of this, though, is that memories seem to drift into me as though they were not my own. Some of them are bad memories, and in this isolation-driven, scholarly detachment, I cannot bring myself to relate to these memories. I process them as though they were fiction. If you relate to this feeling, please know that it is not a healthy one. It's nothing to be too scared of, but you should not treat your own traumas as fiction. Yes, I know I'm being hypocritical, but it's important to identify with stuff like that. Fictionalizing it is another way of bottling it up. Nevertheless, I cannot shake the feeling today. It's all so distant, and so oft remembered in my brain, that it really does all seem like something that happened in a story. I find myself coming up with brief, sentimental quotes that seem to adequately place each scene as having purpose in some kind of narrative. I also find myself returning to the quotes of others and what they have said about their own experiences with similar things. This gets at a possible cause for the feeling. Perhaps today my mind has decided that it is tired of processing its own memories, and so I end up attempting to defer this load by reading my own memories as if they were fiction. I create a surrogate self who feels it all for me, and in analyzing the words of others, I get to feel as if some other protagonist has already overcome this particular adversary. I come up with a lot of titles for a lot of things that I've not yet written. Every time I start a story, I wonder, will this be the one to take that title? Only to almost always come up with a better title later. Thus, I am stuck with this collection of storyless titles. They all communicate a simple truth, often hidden behind layers of obfuscation or hidden meanings. I say all of this because for the first time in my life, I am unsure what to title this meandering non-essay. One of my favorite paintings is Mark Rothko's Untitled Red. Rothko has many untitled paintings. I think he earns their untitledness, however. Untitled Red does on its own what a good title should. It communicates a simple truth with beauty. Untitled Red, the painting, is the title of itself. The broken band of pink above the orange and below the satisfyingly heavy, in both size, depth, and color, block of red communicates a simple, layered truth. Untitled Red is a painting that behaves the same way a stray, unattributed title behaves. Between the previous paragraph and this one, I had to go to work, and now I've already been home for ages, and it's 1:40 a.m. Currently in Melbourne, the Formula One races are on. Jets do their flyovers, tourists abound, and often you can hear the distant screams of incredible engines tearing their way down the tracks. As I walked home at night, they were lighting off fireworks to celebrate the opening day. Immediately, I was reminded of New Year's Day this year. I noted how these fireworks held almost no sentimentality to me beyond reminding me of other times I saw fireworks. This surprised me. I love fireworks and always thought of them as sentimental on their own. These did nothing for me, though, except, of course, remind me. Immediately, my brain is flooded with the memory of New Year's this year. It was such an unusually happy night for me amongst what were some of the worst months of my life. But on this night, I felt endless love and sentimentality towards my friends, and so much hope for the future. Only a day later, the very worst of my anxiety had returned, and I felt truly unfixable. Sometimes it feels like all I have is my sentimentality and love. It tethers me to the world. On this day, I felt abandoned by it, like it had always been a cute lie. Sometimes I feel as though I'm still stuck inside this labyrinth. When you lose trust in something like that, you feel a great abyss beneath you. Days like this, of saddened sentimentality, feel like skating gently over thin river ice with a raging torrent beneath. This is a sensation I am okay with. But ever since what she did to me, I can't help but fear for how anyone else manages this feeling. To quote Tim Rogers, I carry the responsibility of always fearing a hidden, utter sadness at the core of every person I meet. On these days of sentimentality, where titles bear no stories, where my memories are fiction, I endlessly hope you're okay. Both the you who knows who you are, and everyone else who may be listening. This essay was finished on the 1st of April, 2023 at 2:06 a.m. Thank you for listening.